What's poppin'? It's the one and only, your friend, your homie, Juice. Bang. We back at it. What's good, family? So today, we're gonna be checking out Hood Nature. And last night he dropped why orcas are the most disrespectful animals on the planet. I see how much y'all enjoyed the last one, so I figured I'd do this one, and why not learn about orcas? Let's get to it. Damn!
Killer whales are just waterproof black Air Force fins. Their entire personality is bullying every name on the ocean census for no reason at all. Let me explain why this video is way worse than you actually think. It's actually well known that orcas will tail slap their prey. It's the fastest way to make a seal join the Air Force.
God damn!
In Mexico, there were actually 6 of these hood dolphins taking turns slapping the stingray. And after getting bodied the first
They
time,
can launch them that high?
get away, so the orcas just kept violating it. And this went on for an hour and a half. Scientists watching this thought the orcas would just eat the stingray afterwards. Instead, when the stingray finally became past tense, all 6 orcas just watched it lifelessly sink to the bottom of the ocean.
That's
So
wild.
it's about food or survival. These homicidal warriors spent 90 minutes jumping a stingray.
That's wild.
Orcas don't operate on survival. They live off malicious intent. They're one of the few animals that will go out of their way to torture and murk other animals for fun. They'll literally spend hours violating seals, penguins, and stingrays and not even eat them in the end. And that's another ball.
He just swinging that cut.
Scientists watch an orca chase a penguin for half an hour, snap its neck, and then leave its soul-divorced body floating on the surface.
Damn.
In this video, dogs don't run the ocean. The steroid zebra.
Isn't the orca like the mascot for SeaWorld?
Okay, what is this, guys?
Oh!
Put way too much faith in me. This fight get out here.
What is it?
Graboid or an Alaskan bullworm and end the video. What y'all gonna do? Nah, that's a lungfish. It's a fish with lungs. So I think that
Alaskan
video
bullworm.
which checks out because the lungfish is found in Africa, South America, and Australia. When there's a drought or they run out of water, this area
Ew.
will bury itself in the mud and then cover itself in a coat of mucus. When the snot sweater dries, it basically acts as a protective coffin. And like most people in coffins, a lungfish basically dies by shutting down almost every system in their body. The mummy fish will sit there until it rains again, and then it'll dig itself out like nothing ever happened. And some, like the African lungfish, can take a break from living for 3 to 5 years without food or water. All it needs to wake up from a suspended animation is water. Apparently an excavator.
Take a break from living?
This fish can breathe air and water and put its own life on pause for up to 5 years. Meanwhile, us humans got back pain and anxiety because evolution.
Ugh, what is that? Bro, nature is so weird.
What that is. That's the end of the video. I don't know if y'all think I just know everything about everything, but I promise you I don't. But if I had to guess, it's probably a CNN. This thing. Even though they look like plants, this thing whose name I refuse to pronounce is actually an animal. As part of the Cnidaria phylum, they're also related to jellyfish. And some of them like to remind the world that they're not plants by moving just like this. So what I'm guessing happened here is the water receded and exposed the sea anemone at the bottom. And as an animal,
Okay.
looking away is probably just a defensive reaction to being touched.
That's
And
still
here
gross.
You see a green sea anemone doing the exact same thing, curling up to protect themselves.
Like some alien type shit. Just about everything in the
I
ocean
think I'm on a list now.
seem like you'll find it in space.
That's my best guess. Well, I just watched Hank Reed and apparently the video's upside down. This actually makes more sense. If you value your mental health, do not watch this video. This is the only warning you're gonna get. Meet your new nightmare, the coconut crab. Same Photoshop, this is real life. They're related to hermit crabs, but everything about them is on PEDs. They can grow to 3.5 feet long from tip to tip and weigh 9 pounds. Now the biggest problem with this hellspawn with claws is they believe in the worst technical quality, meaning they eat everything without prejudice. Little crabs will eat fleshy fruits, nuts, and seeds, but they'll also eat the carcasses of dead animals like cats and chickens. In fact, a group of these crabs made an entire pig's corpse disappear in only a week.
Damn.
Nature's a spiteful person. Not only can they climb trees, they've been known to scale tree branches and perch sleeping.
Don't get me wrong though.
And those claws can break.
That shit's scary as hell.
About 740 pounds of force. Just for the record,
But
the
can we
largest
eat it,
whole
though?
ass lion is 650. This crab pinches harder than lions bite.
Damn.
That was a good idea. Was on disrespect.
Could wouldn't it be fire in the crab bowl?
Their diet, a lot of them are poisonous. These
Oh.
crabs are found on islands across the Indian
Never
and
mind.
Pacific Ocean. This last fact might be the worst one. So when Amelia Earhart crashed, a lot of people believe the reason her body was never found was because a group of these crabs turned her corpse into a cookout.
Wow.
Considering these crabs are scavengers that will eat literally anything dead, it's a possibility.
Wow. Oh, that's cute. What's that?
The whole page really just turning into what's that Pokemon where I'm just a breeding Pokédex. And I'm okay with that. This little guy is a pygmy marmoset. It's a type of New World monkey found in the Amazon. And at 3.5 ounces, this thumb monkey weighs about as much as 3 Skittles. They're one of the smallest primates in the world.
Damn.
Full of ops, they stay alive by going everywhere as a group and by hiding up in the trees. But never up in the canopy. That's a good way to become a harpy eagle's happy. When a baby marmoset's born, different family members will take turns watching, including its older siblings. Babysitting their little brother or sister is actually how the older ones learn how to be parents. They normally get along, but when threatened, their first instinct is to proudly display their genitals and let the intruder make the next move. You wouldn't want to smoke with a crazy naked dude, and that's probably why it works.
That's
also,
funny.
these aren't big grapes, that's literally how small they are. Like, they're so small they act as insects to insects, and of course the insects don't even see them as a threat. And because I know there's going to be that one person, technically you can have them as pets, but they're high maintenance, biting, screaming anuses that die if you look at them the wrong way. Marmosets are good pets if you know what you're doing, but for the most part they're like celebrities. They're a lot more fun to be around when they're behind a screen. Here are some things you can do in Australia that you simply can't do anywhere else. Number one, you can meet Pikachu. This is a yellow brush-tailed possum. They're one of the most widespread marsupials in Australia. So widespread that sometimes they break into people's homes. And getting Kool-Aid Man by a living Pokemon is definitely something you need in your life.
Kool-Aid Man by a living Pokemon.
The blue penguin is the smallest of its kind. If you're on Phillip Island at the right time, you can watch hordes of them emerge from the sea and waddle single file like children towards their nesting sites. Like, you can actually sit and watch them waddle past you. And if you can sit here and tell me this doesn't make you smile, either you sold yourself.
Penguins are my favorite animal.
To begin with. Number 3, you can meet a patamelon. It's basically the kangaroo's smaller, less clouded cousin. And like roos and wallabies, they get to where they gotta go by hopping.
A patamelon.
Number 4, you can witness Aurora Australis, aka the Southern Lights. It's the result of a disturbance in the magnetosphere caused by solar wind, which causes particles to release color as they become ionized. In simple terms, it's nature on LSD. And number 5,
that's dope.
You can meet the world's happiest animal. Technically found off the coast of Australia on islands like Rottnest, but it still counts. They smile to cool off, and they've lost their fear of humans, which is why this exists. Here's some animals that have
they smile to cool off.
Rabbits, because if Mama Rabbit gets pressed in any way, she'll turn her children into kids' meals. If she's afraid of this predators, she'll eat her babies to protect them from predators that want to eat them.
That makes no sense.
Balloon around a rabbit and watch how fast she becomes a carrot-fueled Casey. Tasmanian devils are born into the Hunger Games, because even though there can be up to 50 babies called joeys, the mother only has 4 nipples. So the blind babies the size of a grain of rice have to crawl around to find them. The first 4 get to live, the rest either starve or get eaten by the mother. Giraffes, and for the simple fact that they get dropped on their head when they're born. They're lucky if that's all that happens, because if the mother gets tired and sits down before the baby's out completely, she could accidentally crush it. If they survive all that, it takes them about an hour to learn how to walk, and every minute that baby's on the ground is a minute they're closer to getting put to sleep by lions, hyenas, or wild dogs. The mother will use her dinner plate sized feet to kick at predators, but there's also the chance she accidentally kicks her baby and breaks its
How do a giraffe fight?
Barnacle boost, because they have 2 choices. They can jump off a 400-foot cliff or starve. Basically death or death in slow motion, and half the chicks that jump become past that.
Bruh, nature is so beautiful but cruel at the same time.
It's also one of the biggest menaces to society. The Kia is a large parrot found in the mountainous areas of New Zealand.
It's a parrot?
The Kia is smart enough to solve complex puzzles in order to get the food inside. But because they've gotten used to humans, this bird will literally take cars apart with their beak. Every year in New Zealand, this parrot causes thousands of dollars in damage by destroying cars, and they do it just because they feel like it. This fellow Tweety will also open and search through backpacks and purses, steal whatever they can find, and then dare you to do something about it.
That's wild.
If steals your wallet and flies off, that's very much a you problem. They're not just an op to people.
Cuz got a flip phone.
Razor sharp beak to hole punch sheep just so they can eat the fat from the back of the animal. Nobody really knows who taught the birds to act like this, but it used to happen so often that the farmers started putting the birds on shirts in order to protect their sheep. Since the Kia is now protected by law, they get to act up with no consequences. They'll also steal eggs from sheep.
They protect them by law?
Into an omelet, because not even other birds are safe from the audacity. Moral of this video: this bird is proof that the smarter you are, the more of a phallus you are to everyone's way of life.
That's wild. So the parrot start eating the sheep. They start blasting the parrot, and now the parrots are protected by law, but they're damaging everybody's cars. That's wild. That's wild. But nature never ceases to amaze me. Like, I like this dude a lot. His videos a lot, because everybody thinks they know the world. Everybody thinks they know animals, and then you watch one of his videos. I did not know Orcas was on that thug life mentality. They jumping stingrays, bitch slapping seals. Pretty much they the Ike Turners of the ocean. But hey, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Stay blessed, never stress. Juice out.